Good morning, folks, and welcome to our series, Messages of Hope. As we are all painfully aware, the invisible enemy, COVID-19, launched an attack upon the world so swift and so deadly that on March 11th, the World Health Organization declared it a global pandemic. What started in China last November has now spread throughout the world. Exact statistics about those infected are not known, because of the lack of testing in many areas. But what is certain is that the numbers are rising so fast that health systems everywhere are being stretched to capacity and beyond. This is not good. Where's the hope, you might ask, under these circumstances? The current consensus is that those most likely to die from the disease are older people, and those with underlying health conditions and weak immune systems. The situation is serious enough to cause panic in the financial markets, the travel, restaurant, entertainment, among so many other industries, worry as people are asked to practice social distancing. Hospitals and other healthcare facilities are being overwhelmed. There's an acute shortage everywhere of all types of PPE, protective personal equipment, for our frontline healthcare workers. Everything is in demand. Surgical masks, N95 masks, surgical gowns and gloves, ventilators, ICU beds, regular beds, why even more healthcare workers, more doctors, more nurses and support staff to help put all this equipment to good use. This is not good. Where's the hope, you ask? If we've all been following the government guidelines closely as individuals and as businesses, then many of you, I'm sure, have been laid off work. No doubt you're worried about paying the rent or the mortgage, the car payment or the groceries. Many of you, I know, live alone. Already you miss your friends and your family. You miss going out with them for a bite to eat. You miss meeting up with them in church on a Sunday morning. You miss the face-to-face conversation and the reassuring hug. It's not good, is it? You ask, where is the hope in all of that? Well, as you probably know, COVID-19 is a novel or a new virus, and as a result, we know very little about what to expect from it. What we do know is that the virus previously existed in other animals only, not in humans. And because of this, humans have no measure of immunity whatsoever against the virus. What we do know is that the virus spreads quickly. We know that it will be difficult to get everybody who might be infected tested, and that a vaccine is at least 12 to 18 months away. No drugs are currently available to slow down the virus. And so as our only defense, we must continue to physically distance ourselves from others. For many who live alone, this will cause loneliness. It might bring anxiety and increased levels of stress. Depression will become more prevalent. Short fuses and sharp tongues might eventually lead to more domestic violence. As the days and months go on, we will need to stay in touch whatever way we can. We will need to find ways to lessen the impact of fear and uncertainty, loneliness, stress, depression, and anger. What I think we'll need are a number of spiritual practices to help build our resilience. These practices are not intended to sugarcoat or minimize the very real dangers of this global health emergency. But maybe they can help us deal with the associated stress, accept what we cannot change, and build up our resilience and our resolve to flourish again. And so from time to time, I will bring you a different spiritual practice you might try to help maintain your mental health. With any luck, you will find one or two practices that work for you. One or two practices you can use to keep your hope alive and your resilience strong during these difficult times. Let me start this morning with the power and the grace of poetry. On March 10th, Lynn Ungar, a minister with the Unitarian Universalists, wrote a poem she titled Pandemic. Ms. Ungar suggests that we reframe this moment in which we find ourselves. That in some way we take a different perspective on what is going on all around us. She writes, "What if you thought of this time as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel. Cease from buying and selling. Give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has become clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live." How will I get through all of this, you might ask? Wherein lies my hope? My prayer is that Ms. Ungar's poem has offered you at least some. Remember, stay inside, love your neighbor by keeping 6 feet between you, keep hope alive, find your courage, stay connected, call me whenever you need. It's definitely together that we'll get through all of this. May God's blessing be upon you all, and for now and always, I bid you shalom.